Today's Good Health brought to you by Horizon Health. Uncontrolled bleeding, it's a major cause of preventable death for people of all ages. In critical moments, every second counts. Someone with a severe injury can bleed to death within minutes. Fortunately, many of these deaths can be prevented. Today, I am joined by Dr. Kenji Inaba, chair of the Stop the Bleed program, to talk about some really easy steps that could essentially save a life. Dr. Inaba, welcome today to Good Day Live.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me about Stop the Bleed. What is this program all about?
The Stop the Bleed program is a course that has been designed by the American College of Surgeons Committee on Trauma for the public. We're talking about people that have no medical training at all, and it's really designed to teach them the very basic principles of bleeding control so that they can intervene, apply some pressure, do some packing, apply a tourniquet, and stop that bleeding before EMS arrives, which really is counter to the way we used to ask people to simply initiate a 911 call and then wait until EMS arrives. And this way, the intervention to stop the bleed can start immediately as soon as that 911 call has been initiated.
Why is it so important for, say, our viewers out there to learn these control techniques?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, as a trauma surgeon, for us, the #1 preventable cause of death after injury is bleeding, and everything that can be done to stop every single drop of blood from hitting the ground can truly make a difference. And we want that intervention to start as quick as possible. And so the reality is there are minutes that pass between the 911 call initiation and EMS arrival. And anything that can be done during that time frame to decrease the amount of blood loss can truly make a difference and potentially save a life.
Would you mind to give us maybe a scenario where a stop the bleed technique would be used?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, the reality is, whereas this was initially designed in the context of a mass casualty or an active shooter incident, the frank reality is these incidents can happen anywhere, anytime. So, for example, you're driving to work and there's a traffic collision at the side of the road and there's an injury that's bleeding. That would be a great time to initiate a 911 call, secure the scene safety to make sure that you and the patient are safe. And if everything is safe, then to immediately apply those life-saving or potentially life-saving bleeding control techniques. These techniques really can be used anywhere, at the side of the road where there's been a car crash, in a school, in your garage. The reality is any of these places and any of these times are potential areas where bleeding can occur, and these techniques would apply.
You mentioned that there's a course, so I'm just curious to know, what does that course involve?
Yeah, the course itself is a very compact 1-hour program. It consists of a didactic session done in the classroom where there's a lecture based on PowerPoint, and it's followed immediately by a hands-on session where all the practical techniques are taught by trained Stop the Bleed instructors. With the COVID pandemic, we have also created an online module that can be done to replace the slide presentation, or with the right set of instructors, the entire program can be done online as well. So we have a variety of different offerings, but I think the important thing for all of your viewers is it is a very compact 1-hour program. There are no prerequisites to sign up. You need to have 0 medical background in order for you to be a student in this program.
I feel like this could become as important as CPR, because what you've said to us today makes us realize how significant it is to know how to stop the bleed. So where can our viewers go for more information?
That's a great question. There really are 2 sources. Probably the easiest is to go to the stopthebleed.org website. That will contain all of the information on the course itself, on potential providers where you can take the course, and a little bit more about the course itself. It'll also host the online module of the hybrid course. So if your viewers are interested in seeing what it entails, that's all available on that website.